Mike Jack.
Okay. It's the Rhoyal Lyric Show.
What's that? So, the Rhoyal remix.
Here I am, once again, feeling nuts, but now and then.
I need to turn me down. We're doing ASMR. You know that girl who used to Pitch Perfect? She'd be like, hey, how you doing? That's my Twitter. My Twitter. Anyway, I ate her. I ate down. Okay. What up, guys? We are grown now. We're older.
Yeah.
Gabby was the first person I ever interviewed and the last person.
The last person.
She was the last person that I ever interviewed and the first person I ever interviewed.
It's crazy.
I've never interviewed anyone else.
Yeah. You have interviewed plenty of people.
Walking around asking them questions. I never did another thing.
Yeah, Rhoyal Lyric Show.
Yeah. So, I'm really telling you this for the first time. So, Rhoyal Lyric Show is now the name of like my channel, and then the Rhoyal Remix is the name of the show. So, the Rhoyal Remix. So tell them who you are, because you're sitting here. Y'all
First of all, I just want you to know how proud I am of you.
Don't make me
I'm on
cry.
Instagram and just looking like, yo, she's really doing her thing, you know? And like, I appreciate you because that pushes me.
Wow.
For real. And then a lot of other people, because, you know, content is really hard. You just make it look so easy. You just post like 10 times a day. And I just be like, okay.
Hey,
So, yeah.
I appreciate that. Oh, yeah. I was supposed to say something about that. Yeah, like, I get inspired by you, too, obviously. And, like, my brother today, I posted a video that he made because he be posting so much. He posts more than me, and he makes videos so quality. And I would just be like, how do you do that? Yeah, so there's always, what do they say? J. Cole says something like, there's always going to be a house bigger than the one you got.
Yeah.
Always going to be clothes fresher than the ones you rock.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
So, you know, we're all pushing each other. It's really good.
Yeah. Her name is Gabby Samone. And I am now 23 years old.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
We can't even do you're 20?
That's crazy. You know, it's been really hard making that transition from saying, oh yeah, I'm 22 to 23.
Yeah.
I know it's not like a big jump, but it's like, I'm 23. Like, I don't have no excuses anymore.
You're
like,
really in your 20s. Like, you've really grown too. Like, even just the way your confidence and everything, like, it's really hitting hard now. You know what I mean? And he said it, what's the name, on that episode of American Idol.
I was really nervous. Mm-hmm. I was shaking like so much. And then it was super cold in there. So, and watching it back, I really disliked my audition. In all reality, like, my confidence grew. Like, you could see it grow each level. I think it's because I got more comfortable just being in the show and being in that light. It really did grow. And that's the reality of things. Like, everything is not perfect.
Right.
And I think that was, you know, a good and a bad thing. Like, everything is not perfect. Yeah, you know, everything is not 1 minute, 30-second Instagram video.
And you don't get to redo it multiple times.
So that's really the reality of things.
You did really good. Everybody loved it, honestly. I just showed my grandmother and she was like, that's the best thing, you know. Do you feel like Barack Obama said it? He was like, when you get into rooms with certain like people that are like really big names or like really big, that they're just regular people at the end of the day?
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel that way because I met a number of, like, you know, people that, you know, have status or whatever. And they were just really, some of the people were really down to earth and just cool people and really just want to be down. Like, you know what I mean? Really want to be seen as regular people. And I would never want anybody to look at me as if they can't approach me or they can't talk to me or as if I'm better than them. You know what I mean? So I look at celebrities like, okay, y'all are just people. Like, I do sometimes I have gotten starstruck.
By who?
Mariah Carey.
That is like, because she's not real.
She's not. She don't even look real.
Yeah, not even on like her voice, because she's really amazing. But I think like her as a figure, she's like a household name, and like she's someone that people be like, oh yeah, that sounds like Mariah Carey. Yeah. Like they reference her when they sing. Yeah.
And even the picture that I took with her, people were saying she looked like a
AI.
Yeah. It's like CGI.
That's hilarious.
And like in reality, that's really how she looked. Like she was glowing, like she was an angel on earth. Like I'm not taking not
crazy.
Like, I don't know what them celebrities are using on their skin. I don't know, but they look so unreal.
And I don't think she's promoting any skincare.
She's not.
She's not on skincare.
So. I don't see it on her page. I go down. I don't see it.
That's crazy. I mean, she's somebody who has really made like ebbs and flows in her career in terms of like coming back and then having like crazy like performances that were like, oh gosh, what happened to her, and then coming back and being like, oh no, I can still sing.
Yeah, like everybody still knows who Mariah Carey is.
Yeah, and they still respect her craft.
Exactly.
She never gets ultimate disrespect. I think like sometimes the comments you get a few, but then there's always writers like
like she's getting up there in age, and they talk about her vocals and things like that. But I'm like, half of y'all can't even do what she's doing at her age. You know what I mean? And she's been through some things. Like everybody is not going to sound the same as they did at 20. Yeah, at 50.
How much different do you feel like you sound from when you were 20? Because I think, did I first meet you when you were 20 or 19?
I think it was 19.
Oh my gosh. Do you remember what you had on? I remember.
What? Did I have
probably because your birthday recently passed and I was looking at pictures.
The curly hair?
Yeah, the curly hair. And then she had on pink pants.
Yes.
And like a little black sweater. It was so cute.
It was crazy.
And I was living a different life then. So I remember stopping by and I was like, I was going to meet up with Jonathan. And he's like, oh, with Gabby. I'm like, okay, I don't even know that is. But like I remember him talking so highly of you, and anyone he speaks highly of, I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta meet them. And then when I met you, you were so cute.
Oh my god!
So we took a picture. You did the peace sign.
That's so embarrassing.
It was so cute. I was like, this girl is like. I feel like you were like my little sister then, but now I feel like you're really my friend now. Like you're not little sister status anymore because you're a girl.
Like I love Rhoyal, y'all. Like she's like my sister. We haven't hung out so recently. I be like, this is really my girl. Like I really love Rhoyal.
Yo, it's so insane.
Like, but it's crazy
for you.
Before you, I really didn't have any outside friends. Like I really didn't. Just random people that I just met.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, she's real. They mad, cool. so that's from there. Our relationship grew.
Yeah.
But I was a mess.
That was a question. How do you feel like your voice has changed?
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. So before, it's crazy. This question keeps coming up because I was just talking about this yesterday and the day before that and the day before that. So I recently had a vocal session with John.
Okay.
And he said this thing. He said, there goes Gabby.
Oh.
And not, sometimes he says it because when I knock something down, and you're like, oh yeah, she's clumsy. So that's not an inside joke. Like there she is. But no, she said there's Gabby. He said there's Gabby, the one that I first met.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Just like this raw vocalist who was just singing, didn't care, and who was just singing, going for broke.
Yeah.
And
singing what you thought of. Like, yes.
Yeah. And over the years, since I met John and since we started training, vocal training and stuff like that, my voice has changed, and I've became super duper conscious of what I do to my voice and how I sing and how I prepare for a show. Like, I can't do, as church people, we squall. And sometimes we place certain notes in the wrong places and it can mess up our voices. And I've learned that over the years, and I started to sing differently.
You're trying to have a healthy voice, healthy tone.
And I started to sing kind of safe. And John, he was just telling me, don't lose the sauce that you had. Don't lose the special magic, the special thing in your voice because you're trying to, preserve you and trying to save it. Use the technique, but also sound like yourself.
Yeah, that's a hard balance though.
It is.
Is it like a lot in your head that you have to think about? Yeah,
because it's like I don't want to, I don't want to mess anything up. Like my voice is my life.
Yeah,
kind of sort of.
It is,
and and I guess it's God placing my life to really help me, preserve my voice, because this is something that He wants me to share with the world. Yeah. So I feel like I sound completely different, but also I feel like I'm coming back into myself, coming back into the voice that the raw vocalist that I was before, but just in a healthier way. It sounds way healthier, and I have so much more room to grow. Like even with what we're doing, what we have been doing lately, I've been jump roping.
Oh wow!
And singing at the same time. So that's just a whole nother element.
Yeah,
and it's just gonna be.
You're like an athlete, trying to like
not yet, but we getting there.
The only artist I've seen do like I've actually watched do that online is Miley Cyrus.
Yes, I knew you was about to say that.
I love her.
Yeah, yeah.
I love her. I love her too much. Like I feel like the level that I love you, and I know you. If I ever met Miley Cyrus, we would be friends because she's so real.
Yes, I love her too.
Oh, and she was singing her song. What's it called?
I know.
Yes, Angels Like You, I think. And she was like in a pink sports bra.
Yeah.
I was like, you better.
That's my joint though. That was gonna be one of my audition songs.
That's really good. You should do that.
I love that song.
Yeah, that you should definitely cover that.
And it was because of that video.
Yeah,
of her singing like raw.
Yeah, I love her, but I think like she's someone who's like a real artist that talks about real things in her songs. She made a song called "Used to Be Young." I know it used to be crazy. When she put that song, I literally cried, like, cause that's me. That's a song about me, like, and she's just grown so much. I rewatched Hannah Montana, everything. She's very relatable.
She went from child star to adult, like middle age star. Like she's been through so much, and she shares it, and that's what you need. That's what I want to be. I want to be like her, as vulnerable as her, because she shared her whole
and she doesn't seem to care.
She don't care.
She's just like and
that's why people love her so much. She's just authentically herself. There's nobody else like her.
And I remember I went to her Hannah Montana concert, and she it was over, and then everybody was like, "Oh man," crying and stuff that it was over. And then she came back out as Miley, and she was sitting on the stool and played this song called "I Miss You" about her grandfather. And every time I hear that song now, I just cry because she's great. But I think like you have that same level of authenticity, which is so rare, especially with really talented people, So how do you think you hold on to that, like being your regular self, like not getting ahead of yourself in terms of like who you are, who you meet, like
So I pray and ask God to keep me humble. That's always my prayer, no matter where I go, because I know, with Him, I will go far. So I just be like, God, no matter what happens in my life, no matter how big I get, no matter how many people I meet, no matter what, I want to stay humble and stay grounded. I think He's really done that with me, just no matter what. Like he's kept me humble, and I've been through a lot. Even with this past couple of years, like I've been through a lot. So. And then I met so many people and done so many things, outside of what's going on in my real life. So like He's really preparing me and saying, don't forget that I can take you here, but you can also be here. Right. You can also be flat on your face. So I think that helps me a lot too, because He's taken me through so much, and my family through so much, and we've always came out so much better. So it's really just being super duper grateful and appreciative of where I come from. And never forgetting that I can go right back there.
Yeah, you see this respect? Like you really grown.
Really?
Like you really are, like you're such a you think you're a thinker, I think. And like you can analyze how you've been, where you come from, and like you have such a big family too. And I think that just seeing your family and seeing you just do so well in life, it's a testament to their walk with Christ too. Like even, in the Bible, how it talks about, as you do well, your kids like will be successful, or like it'll be well with your children, and like your family be prosperous. And they probably they're however old, and they've been through so much, and now they get to see the fruit of all that they prayed for. Coming from one person, but like all of you guys, all your siblings.
And that's the best thing. I think that's my favorite. That's the biggest accomplishment to me, is my parents being able to travel and being able to experience certain things. Like taking my dad to NBA games and things like that. Like, he's never been to an NBA game, so being able to take him to a game, or my mom traveling with me, she's so excited to travel with me. Sometimes I gotta calm her down, like, "Ma, no, you can't come to everything. Calm down. I took it for you." No, but that's my biggest accomplishment. I think it's just being able to show my parents the world, and I haven't even gotten a chance to show them the world.
Right, you haven't scratched the surface,
but just because they sacrifice so much for us.
Yeah.
For me and my family, and even for other people. And
yeah, they're really nice. Your parents
oh my God,
so nice.
I be like, if anybody's going to heaven, it's them.
They're going to have the keys.
Yes, they going to have the keys. Like, let me know what time you coming.
Yeah, I'll be there. Don't forget me.
No, but they just sacrifice so much for me and everybody else. And sometimes it's like people, they it on them. They spit on them, and they make it seem like my parents weren't there. They forget that my parents were there for them, and we just see it, and we just like, y'all still want to give after that?
Literally, that's the thing. I'm like, yo, y'all are like, your family in general has been super kind, just to me and like to people that I've seen them around. But like your siblings, like you have a lot. Sometimes, like when I see one of them have one less than me, I'm to say. But when I see them and they remember me, or like they're like, oh, hey, well, I'm like, yeah. And your mom's like, I just love what you're doing. I'm so proud of you. Yeah. I'm like, wow, like your daughter's doing so many amazing things.
They're always asking about you. How's Rhoyal? What's the Rhoyal Lyric Show doing?
Yeah, when I didn't sit with them at the watch party, your dad was like, you family, I was like, oh, I know. But yeah, they're so kind.
Yeah, so that's why I just want to give back to them first. All glory to God.
Yeah,
but my parents, I want to give back to them completely, like 100%, because they've done so much. Yeah. Like, not even just for me. It's right. Like, I'm looking back, like they took people in.
Tell them how many siblings you have and where you fall.
I have 8 siblings. No. Sorry. It's 8 of y'all. It's 8 of us. I'm the 8th. I'm the last sibling. And I watched them raise us. My dad is not everybody's father, but he
stayed there forever.
He married my mom with 6 children and raised them, and they all treat him like that's their father. And me and my brother, that's my parents, and we never really looked at each other differently. Like, oh, you got a different father, because we all grew up in one house, so
we used to live together.
Yeah, but and they took people in, cousins in, like older people from church. Like, we built rooms in our house.
Wow.
For people to stay in, and fed them. And my mom, she had a food pantry, so even when we didn't have money to get food, my parents made too much to have food stamps, but didn't make enough to get food for everybody. So my mom, she ran a food pantry. We always had food. Sometimes we struggled, lights was out, things like that. But my parents, they were so resourceful. It's like we were spoiled.
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
They were so resourceful though.
Yeah.
Like they made it seem like we didn't even struggle, but growing up, it's like we did. Like, going back, I'm like,
but that's such a blessing to know that you've even been able to see the struggle and you can still like give back. So did your dad go to the Orioles game with you guys?
He did.
Oh, tell them about that experience. I was so proud. Go O's.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
When you said that, I was like, yo, that's so Gabby though. That's your stamp. Like, you gotta be yourself. I feel like I was glad they gave you that pause.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I was like, thank you. No, but that was crazy. It was 48,000 people in the audience.
Is that the biggest audience you've sang in front of?
That's the biggest audience.
Wow. Those are bigger than the NBA? Like,
yes.
Wow.
Absolutely. I think it's like 22,000 in Madison Square Garden.
Okay, yeah.
That was like the other thing that I did. But this was way more.
Wow.
It's crazy. At first, when I went out there, it was like, a few seats, a few like patches missing and stuff like that. And as time went on, 30 minutes later, I looked up. It was orange and black.
Oh,
all orange. Like, it was like full.
Yes. I've never been to an Orioles game.
Oh, my God.
I've never seen orange, but at the Ravens game, it's like all purple and black.
It gets crazy.
I can imagine. Did you grow up ever going?
No, I went once.
Okay.
I went once. And that was crazy. But that was like mid-season. It wasn't as packed.
Opening day.
And
it was sold out.
Sold the freak out. It was crazy.
That's crazy. Were you nervous? Because you sang the national anthem a million times.
It's crazy. I was super nervous, but I was comfortable with the song. So I think that eased my nerves a little bit more. But, and that's another thing. Picking a song that is really comfortable with you. Like, the more comfortable you are with a song with me, the more comfortable I am.
Okay. Yeah, that's
so.
Yeah.
Singing in front of all those people. And I think singing in front of like less people was probably a little bit more intimidating to me. Because I didn't see none of their faces.
Right. It was just a big stadium.
Yes.
Did the sand get in your eyes?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. Because you were in like a little box thing. Like it was a little barrier.
No.
Oh. So the video looks like you were in like a little...
No. So it was like a LED like thing they told me to come out of. So I came out early on accident.
You were like,
and then went back. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
I'm so happy that you was a part of that.
No, but I came out early. But it was like an LED screen. That's where all the players came out. Doors closed, came out. It was crazy. And it was an orange path where it was children. It was like a long orange carpet. Children had their flags waving it, and the players were running out and going in, as they called the players and stuff like that. Oh. So then they called me, and I came out like a little bit past that little LED screen and sang. So I was on the orange carpet. I was on the field, but I wasn't super duper far on the field. People were like, I couldn't even see you. My mom, she couldn't see me.
Oh.
Yeah. But it was crazy.
Was she watching was she there?
She was there.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's so cool. That type of stuff. Because for Baltimore specifically, I think like sometimes, a lot of times we'll see like people from Baltimore doing big things and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, oh, wow, they're from Baltimore. But like I feel like you're really from Baltimore. That's like me going on and they'll be like, where are you from? I would just say Baltimore because it's close and everybody knows. Yeah. You actually know.
But you from California.
I would say Park Heights.
Yep. Do not.
Cherry Hill, you know what I'm saying? Don't cancel me.
No, but yeah, it's crazy because people will be they're like so surprised when I say, yeah, I graduated from Emerson. I grew up Emerson Avenue.
Yeah.
Like, they be so surprised, like, oh, for real?
You've gone back there?
Damn. Gone back to
Edmondson for anything?
No, not yet. I mean, I went back to record. But it was an empty parking lot, and I just was like, yeah, that's my school.
Okay, yeah. I feel like I remember seeing something.
Oh, but you know what's crazy? This just touched my lip.
It's fine.
But what's she called? My counselor. She came to my watch party.
Oh wow!
Yeah, she came. She was just super proud of me and stuff like that. I was like,
that's so cool. I always told my students, don't forget me.
Don't forget.
And they even remember my name. I don't even remember theirs.
That's a shame, Rhoyal.
Like, what's my name? What's my name? I'm like, don't do that. That's disrespectful.
Too many.
That's disrespectful. It's like 150 kids a year. I don't remember.
That's crazy.
What was your favorite subject in school?
You know what?
Never know. While you're thinking about that, there was a Hannah Montana episode, and I always thought about you with this episode. I'm like, that cannot happen to Gabby. Basically, she was on an interview, and they were like, "What's your favorite book?" or something like that, and she's like, "Oh, I don't like reading."
I know exactly what episode they're talking.
And the kids were like, "I hate reading now," and then she's like, "I don't like carrots."
Yeah, and then she kept on messing up. Yeah, I know exactly.
And all the kids were like, "I hate carrots now. I don't want to work." Yo, and then she wore a carrot, and she had to do like a whole interview with carrots.
That's crazy.
That is so funny.
Show.
That's back when interviews were fake. What was
my favorite subject? Okay, so first it was math.
okay?
But I think I started to like English. Mm-hmm. You know, I once we read this one book. What is it? With Stout in it.
Stout.
What is it?
Is it a dog?
To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh,
I really like that book.
Okay. When
So-
he was wrongly accused.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I really like that book. So I started to like English. And then I like history.
Okay.
So, but honestly, I'm not really, this is terrible.
You gotta be real.
I really did not like school. But
A lot of people
I feel like
creatively
education is so important. Like, I really want to go back. But my mind, I feel like my mind just be all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, creative people is
Really
hard.
tough for me. It's
hard.
really tough for me. But you know what's crazy? My brother is so good at it. He's so good at it. So good at school. He graduated. He's doing very well in that department.
area, yeah.
And I feel like I'm doing music. Like, I dropped out of college. And you know what's crazy? Like, people have different paths, and it's just so crazy to see. Me and my brother grew up so close, and he did the school thing, and I dropped out on music.
Because everyone's different.
But it's so important. I would never knock anybody for going to college because it's so important. Like, it's just, I feel like it's so important because even with artists, like, we need to be able to
write an email.
and we need to learn how to speak.
Yeah,
Like, that's a
the
big part.
speaking part. But they don't
Media
even
training.
even in people that like school, they don't do enough speaking either. Because like we don't want kids. Well, I'm saying we, as far as the public school system or school system, they don't like when kids feel what's the word? Like embarrassed. So they don't make kids like speak in front of people. They let you choose to write it instead. I would make kids. I would be like, you have to memorize this poem and stay in front of the class. And they're like, but I have anxiety. What? Who ain't that? Like, you have to do it. You have to be able to do it.
I feel like anxiety is like a trend
Oh yes.
now. I ain't knocking nobody who really has anxiety.
Have you heard that song? Somebody's watching me.
Oh my gosh, you gotta do that.
Yeah, we should do that.
But yeah, I ain't knocking nobody who really has it, but I feel like it's really trending now.
Yeah,
Like,
it strikes people down. People can't do anything. I think that's another reason why, like, everybody's so proud of you, especially because you're so young doing what you're doing and not stopping. Because most people would get tired of like trying to get on all the time. And it's not that you're even trying to get on. I think you have to change your mindset around why you're doing what you're doing. Because I think some people, like even me doing this like podcast and stuff, I don't care what it does or doesn't do. I just know what God keeps on pricking me to do. So I'm just doing it. Like I literally made like a Google Calendar invite. I have like appointments for like people that want to be on here. And you're my first person once again. But I sent it to like my brothers. I was like, pick a time and day to be on my show. But I'm like, I just know that I'm supposed to be doing this.
Yeah.
Like, so if people change their mindset toward why they're doing something, they probably wouldn't get burnt out.
yeah, exactly. And I think another thing that keeps me doing what I'm doing is I just have so much faith in God. Like I was reading at one point. I need to read.
She
now.
reads.
I was reading. I was reading the book of Job.
Okay, yeah.
At one point, I need to get back to reading the Bible.
That's a rough one.
That's a rough one because I was going through so much. I was just like, all right, let me see what Job's talking about.
Yeah.
And just how God stripped him of everything and he still had so much faith in God and he still believed and stuff like that. That's why I'm just such a big advocate. Like, for trusting God. Like you gotta trust the process. Like no matter what, trust the process. Like sometimes it's like, dang, how am I gonna do this? What am I gonna do? And then boom,
Right.
something just falls in place. And I'm just like, okay, yeah. That's the real deal.
Literally.
Like really trusting him. So I don't even know what's gonna happen.
The next day, it's like, all right, what's today?
But I'm just like, I'm gonna be good. I think that's once I found that like trust and once I found, what is the word? Once I started believing and trusting in him like wholeheartedly,
A little trust fall. You gotta trust fall. You don't know.
I think a peace just came over my life. Like a peace just came over my life completely. And I'm still getting back into reading more and just having a strong relationship with him. But I trust him so much. It's like I really just don't. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care. I know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know everything's gonna be okay.
Right. Because he works all things together. I think sometimes like the verses in the Bible are so like cliche now. Like people just say them and they're like, oh yeah, it's all gonna work out.
Yeah.
But if you really believe it, you will not let anything hold you back. Like I literally quit teaching last year and I was just like, all right, I didn't even have this job yet, and I knew like my parents aren't gonna let me flop like on the ground. But I was ready to move to Dallas. I went to Dallas, I visited, I was like staying with the family. I thought I was gonna work for that pastor. I was like, okay, great, this is perfect. But it didn't happen. I cried when I didn't get the job with them in Dallas. And then my dad was like, God has better for you. And I was like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
And it was like facts. Because now I get to do this. Like I probably would be at school right now still. Or like after school helping some kids. Like
I'm not even wanting to do.
I was crawling to work at one point. And I was like, this can't be my life. Like I know what I want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. So that trust is like, once you trust him, it's like peace just falls.
And your lyrics from that song 21 and a half. So for Gabby's birthday, I sent her a text with a bunch of lyrics from that song. She's so interesting. I was sat there, I was like, oh wow, that makes sense. And I was like, I think I should be a songwriter. But it was all her lyrics. But she has those lyrics in that song 21 and a half where it's just very real in terms of how you got to where you are and how you just basically did everything probably opposite of what everybody else would do. And you had different experiences where it was like, dang, how is this going to work out? But it still did. Like,
yeah.
And what was it? Dropped out of college to follow my heart. Dropped out of college to follow her heart. I don't think I ever knew anybody personally that did that, especially not in today's time. Because I feel like everybody goes to college now. Like, it's really rare that someone, and even while people are in college now, people are just like, oh, I just do music while I'm here. Even though they hate it. Following your dreams is not an easy feat.
Yeah.
But when people do it, it works out in their favor, especially when they have the right motives. And in Proverbs, it says, he knows your motives, and he will correct them, or you will just perish.
Yeah. Come on, Minister.
Ew, please.
And that's not what you call it?
That's what people try to call me. They do. So I always say, when I go host on stage, I say, hey, y'all, it's Rhoyal.
But you're a minister, right?
I work here. Evangelist?
Pastor.
And that's all. Apparently, that evangelist is all the women titles they get. Evangelist. No, so here at Celebration, I'm the creative director and I'm the young adult ministry leader. Oh, so I just say young adult ministry leader.
Pastor.
At this point, we're just Rhoyal and so for all the people out there who are trying to follow their dreams, they don't know how to do it. Why? How? What do I do? What? It don't matter. What is a piece of advice you could give to someone who's trying to follow their dreams? Because when Wall Street's doing, when you're just doing it, you don't really think about, well, some people don't, because you've had really good responses about, like, following God and stuff, but people sometimes while they're doing, they're just going on, like, going, so they don't really know how they got where they are.
Yeah. I would say to just believe in yourself.
Right from the start.
No, but for real, I know it's really, like, cliche to say that, but on some real, like you really gotta believe wholeheartedly in yourself.
That's facts.
Like
They say if you're not a fan of you, who else gonna be?
exactly. So I would say that and just stay grounded, stay humble, because it can get snatched away from you really soon, really quickly.
They always used to say this used to scare the bejeebies out of me. When I was little, I didn't like singing in front of people or anything. I didn't like doing anything. I would just sing in my room and watch Hannah Montana. Like, I'm going to be Hannah Montana without singing in front of people. But they used to always say, like, if you don't use your gifts, God will give them to someone else, or like you'll get it taken away from you. So sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and sing something and just see if I still could, because I'll be scared. And then I started singing on the praise team, or like the youth praise team when Jonathan popped up, and I was like, okay, like I'm gonna keep doing this, but I'm scared. But I really believe that. I don't know who it has happened to. I can't think of anybody, but I think anyone who just stops doing something, you're not gonna be good anymore.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is scary. It is scary. Like following your dreams and just following something that you can't see. You can't see.
You don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know if you're gonna make it. You don't know if you're gonna. But I feel like it's really good to know, and you should feel good that you can see the fruit of what you've done because you're doing things. Like I think some people, they be like, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. I don't know what's ahead. I'm in the unknown. It's so scary. But that's because you're not doing anything to see if it's gonna work out. Like you have so many things to show for the fruit. That's the word. The fruit of your labor. Like God is gonna give fruit when you do the things that you're like walking in faith to do. But people that just sitting there like doing nothing because they're scared, you ain't gonna know if you're gonna do good.
I feel like that's what it is. Like you're not really supposed to fear anything, but it's really like you really do. And I feel like doing it scared and doing it anxious and doing it not knowing is more reward. It brings more rewards. I would say, because you jumping out there on faith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and the people around you are so proud of you. Do you ever feel like people around you are scared for you?
Yeah.
Do they tell you?
You know what's crazy? My parents, they're my biggest supporters, but I feel like they sometimes get anxious because we're so close. They can feel my anxiety sometimes.
Yeah.
And my mother said while I was gone, she couldn't stay with me the whole time in LA. She was like, I had a panic attack, I had an anxiety attack. I'm just like, Mom, why?
Oh my God.
I'm the one up here. Right. What's going on? She was just like, I felt bad I couldn't be with my baby, and I just felt like you just was all out there by yourself, just stressing.
Yeah.
I was like, it's a lot of stress, but it's crazy because it's been way more fun than stressful, I would say. But yeah, anyways, I feel like my parents, they can feel that. So definitely them. Preparation is so important. Like preparing for what you're... Oh, check.
We'll wrap up soon. Sorry, camera.
Yeah, don't get high. So preparation is super important.
What is one thing, since this is the Rhoyal remix, I'm branding it with the ending with this. What is one thing in your life that you feel like you need to remix, or that you will be remixing?
One thing in my life that I need to remix,
or that you have remixed?
That I have my confidence, and my self love, my self worth. Yeah, this past year it's really been changing. And it still has room. It still has a lot of, grow. I still have a lot to, to go. A long way to go. But definitely that. Yeah, definitely that.
That's good. Well, thank you so much, Gabby, for coming on. You helped me because this is my first time doing this. I'm really excited. I feel like it went really well. And you're really a good guest.
This was good.
I love that.
You're a good host.
Thanks.
Rhoyal Lyric remix.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone for watching, and we have way more to come. Make sure you, comment, comment, and
subscribe to the Rhoyal remix.
Yeah, yes. But yes, y'all, we're gonna go get some food. You wanna get some food?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go get some food.